Robert Kelly.
We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with your pop.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We did. I was crushing White Claws.
Yeah, we got a little
Walking
boozy
around.
at the...
Mikey went to go shred in the garage.
Yeah, they had a lefty. So at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now, they have the garage. It's basically like a studio where you can pick up instruments and play and like just jam out and stuff. And so they had a lefty guitar. I'm lefty, so I picked it up, started
Shred
playing
Zeppelin
it.
over here.
And then I'm playing with the knobs, trying to be cool. And this guy walks
this
over.
is really funny. So what it is, the setup of it is, to give you a full picture here, it's every guitar, there's like 7, 8 guitar stations, if not more, and they have lefty and righty at each. And there's a huge, in each station, there's this big, huge amp behind you.
Like Marshall stacks, like a big stack.
With the thing on top of it with the knobs. And Mike was over there dealing with the knobs, like trying to change the tuning and the whatever.
Yeah, I'm like fucking David Gilmour in Pompeii. I'm like playing with shit. Fucking.
And I think they go, I think the sound just comes out of the thing above your head. Right, there's just like a little speaker above his head, and Mike's like, "Oh yeah," and then one of the workers almost be like,
He came over.
"What are
and
you,
he
an
was
asshole?"
Like, there's a screen that says like distortion, clean, whatever. Like they make it easy. I'm over here like fiddling, which it's not changing anything.
Yeah, there's a button. Yeah, it's just all computer.
I'm like, shh, hold on, I almost got it.
I'm trying to turn up the 10 and rip the knob off.
They're like, you dork.
Yeah, Mike fucking blew his fucking thing off.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud. It was so fun. Your old man knew a lot about hip hop. I was very blown away by that. Like him and I were geeking out over like Flava Flav's clock size.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I thought it would be bigger. And I'm
He
like,
was not. Well, first of all, it's such a dumb thing for him to say. I thought it'd be bigger. It was one of his clocks. It was that one that was the smaller one. It was like an outfit, particularly that he gave in for one video. So his clocks, he wore gigantic ones and small ones. It wasn't just a clock. So he doesn't know that much about hip hop. But my dad, yeah, he just got the peripheral information of like and especially the stuff that would be at the 90 years of or the 50 years of hip hop. Like there's such things like my dad knows who Snoop Dogg is and all that stuff because they came out not through me. I wasn't around them enough to influence. What do you hear? Just the ether of like public knowledge. You know what I mean?
He just knew it. Well, you never like geeked out about it with him.
No. And I'm saying he was never like, no. When he walked through that, it's like.
It was also the beginning of the trip, so I think he wasn't tired yet.
Yeah, he had to he went to sit down a few times.
He sat down next to me when I was playing guitar, and I sat on the arm and played him night moves.
Working with your mom boobs, bang gang gong gong, gong gang gong gang.
Could have used a few pounds. That place is terribly anticlimactic, though.
It's
you
go
cool,
up to the
but
top
it's
now.
just
I used to think it was a special exhibit, but you go up to a couple things from Pink Floyd's The Wall upstairs, which is a place where you can sit down and have a drink.
Literally, now you just drink under the wall.
It's not the wall.
No,
it's not pieces from the stage set or anything. It's just a display with I think the original teacher blow up thing, like the blow up
from the
blimp
wall
thing, is over it. I think that's real.
I don't know Pink Floyd that well.
But it's just, and then you just go back down.
It's
very
boring.
underwhelming.
Yeah, it's very boring. It's a lot of escalators. It's just more escalators than anything.
Oh, we should look for that lady because I always skip through like the early, like the Winn-Dixies and all those kind of like bands and stuff, like banjos and the old
early
dresses and stuff,
like Lead Belly and like
but not even that. Like just like when it was, like I said, when it goes like the Sam Cooke and all that stuff. I'm like,
Sun Records and all that.
Yeah,
like Elvis and.
But we should have seen they had that girl. They were playing her on a Sternthology again the other day. What's the lady who did like the dirty? She did like dirty old jazz. Like, if you suck on my pussy, I'll suck up on your dick.
Yeah. No, really?
The best, yeah. Brogdon.
What's her name?
Something Brogdon.
Black lady, right?
Lucille
Okay.
Bogan.
Okay, dude.
I'm just trying to get
it is Lucille Bogan, but okay.
Just trying to paint a picture.
Whoa.
If you suck up on my, won't you shit on my tits?
Baby, won't you give me a Pearl Jam necklace?
Lucille Bogan. Till the cows come home. That's her jam. Oh, wait. Yeah, Shave 'Em Dry is also a good one.
Shave 'Em Dry. As and shit, like, they used to just play songs while, like, you got the length of a song, like, with a chick at a, like, burlesque house. Or, like, if you went to a house and banged a chick, you got till the song ended. And I think that's where kind of like
was
improv,
fucking piano-y songs.
yeah, like, and I think that's kind of where it started. So maybe this was like her. That's so fucking cool.
I got
dude.
nipples on my titties, bush on my clit.
She's sitting there going, "Hang on, what do you think of this line?"
I let a man fuck me till I take a shit. I got the funky dry blues.
I really like that shit on a man.
Slapping on my pussy.
Oh man, I love it.
Damn, man.
I like her. I never heard of her.
Suck up on my pussy. I'll suck. It got like big for a minute.
So you basically made up a line in your head that you thought was in the song.
No, I didn't.
God damn.
Huh? Shave 'em dry too.
Come on,
Doubt
really?
it.
Oh no, it's the same song.
I wonder what shave 'em dry. What does that mean? Shave 'em dry. Dry shave?
Dude, you're such a prude.
Dry shave? Huh?
Dude, you're such a prude. You don't know what shave 'em dry means.
No shaving
man.
cream?
Nah, dude. You know what it means.
Is it like
Shh, you know. Think about it. I have no idea.
shave 'em dry? I know that's what I mean.
Shave
Like,
'em.
what was
If
going on
you
back then?
Slap my pancake titty out. Give your butt a sniff. Is John Mayer still in the building? I got some lyrics. If you suck up on my pussy,
John, give me a B minor.
suck up on your dick. Take it for a walk with me.
Yeah, bring it around the block.
Dude, please do me a favor this week. A little touch on. I'm gonna wait for Bobby to come back and watch it before we really break it down. But it's batshit crazy. It's about a chick who was like a cute chick in the '90s, and then decided one day to leave everybody in her family and just go be a cult leader. And she did it very successfully, at least for what they needed. They just had it's a batshit cult story, like nothing too new or nutty there, except for she decided at one point, like, you know what colloidal silver is?
No.
They say it's got. Look at what it is, actually, Christine. but
Where
it's like-
where is she? America?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this was Canada.
No, this is very American.
Okay.
Colorado,
Colorado.
Oregon, Hawaii.
All those places?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She
That's
started in
where she goes
Colorado, though?
from. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of weirdos there.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people who are looking for a weirdo to follow.
Hell yeah.
Because you know what's funny? These, for the first time I've ever seen in a cult show, the cultists seem so normal, as except for the fact that they are die hard by this cult. Does that make sense? Like there's definitely dippy people in that cult for sure. You watched it, Lou, right? I assume.
Yeah.
There's definitely dippy people in the cult, but there's also people in there like they're like, all right, so Mother is going to ascend today. She believes. Dude, there's so much good in this, Mikey. She believes
I can't
her
wait to
angels,
watch it.
her angels, who she has direct contact with. Christine, you got to bring up the picture. She has a board of all, like a poster board that she's made. That's their basic, that's their Christ on the cross.
The
this board.
Galactics.
The Galactics,
The Galactics
is her angels?
It's her angels, but the Galactics, when you see who they are, it's an interesting group.
The 86 New York Mets?
Oh, I wish.
Maybe.
Those are my
Maybe one of them.
Galactics.
Maybe one of them, because I'll tell you who is the honcho. There's two head honchos on either side of her. One on either side of her. One's a drawing of some guy I've never heard of. The other one, Robin Williams.
Are you serious? Robin Williams is her
And it's not even the wackiest of what's on the board of the other angels.
Was it Fisher King Robin Williams?
But they'll come and they'll be like, no, it's Mork from Mork, Robin Williams. But they literally, she'll say things like, Robin told me you're gaining weight. Like Robin says
Come
you're fat.
on.
She got a message from
Whoa,
Robin.
that's her board of...
Look, of angels. Robin Williams, a drawing of some guy, the Crocodile Hunter, Michael Jackson, Whitney
David
Houston,
Bowie.
David Bowie, Gene Wilder, John Denver,
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, Tupac,
George
George
Burns.
Michael, George
Carlin.
Burns,
Lily.
Mr. Rogers, Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett. Is that Bob Marley down there in the very bottom? Yep.
Yes, Bob Marley is also in there.
Jim Croce?
Jim Croce,
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve.
Is
Dude,
that
Frank Zappa?
Walter Becker?
Maybe.
Right below, next to George Michael, south of David Bowie.
Maybe.
Tupac.
I mean,
Is that Larry David under her ring finger?
let me see. It possibly could be Larry David. I think.
I don't
Is that
understand
Donna
this.
Summers? Donna's
Where?
Underneath her pinky. Who is that?
Oh no, it's Carol Burnett.
Wait, I thought
Carol Burnett's under her pinky.
that's her.
Jonathan Winters.
All right.
Jonathan
Winter. And then oh look at
She loves comedy.
what's it called?
Crocodile Hunter.
Gene Wilder.
Oh, there's a picture of all. We can see all. Oh, Regis made the cut. Jerry Lewis,
Suave. Trump.
Salvador Dali, Trump, John Ritter,
Is Trump the only alive one?
Kenny Rogers.
No, Tom Cruise is alive. There's really no rhyme or reason.
That's
with
why it's
Patrick
throwing me
Swayze.
off. A lot of these people are
Where's Tom
alive.
That's what I
Cruise.
mean. I'm like, yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Oh, where's Tom Cruise?
Right here.
That's not Tom Cruise.
Oh, that's Christopher Reeves.
By the way, Swayze,
Christine, they do look Walt Disney.
Swayze, Prince, John Candy, Aretha Franklin, Jerry Lewis,
Regis Philbin.
Regis
Regis
Philbin.
Philbin.
Say Richard Pryor already.
That's Jim Henson.
Jim Henson.
And Kermit. She's got your boy Kermit in there.
I did not
Jay?
notice that Kermit made the cut.
Yo,
John, this is like a the poor man's Sergeant Pepper's.
Julia,
and then another drawing
Julia
of somebody.
Child?
Julia Child also.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
Hey, who's that with the pipe? Is that a young Rodney Dangerfield next to Trump?
Yes.
Ugh,
It's Ronnie Dangerfield
creepy
also. Yeah.
looking.
Buddy, the whole thing is so batshit, but she
Prince,
gets people to
Spock.
follow her. And by the way, apparently they still do streams. But what they do is the whole documentary essentially is what, you know this from the beginning because they show it, and you can't believe, you have to see what slowly happens to her to believe what you see in the very first minute of the documentary. They show you them coming in to finding her dead body on a bed. But she takes this colloidal silver as a thing. She starves herself. She's a lunatic. She's just literally needs medication.
Yeah.
But they all follow her saying she's God, and they do drugs, and then she's mean, and she snaps, and she's anorexic, and she's all this shit. And she starts taking this colloidal silver. Now, what's funny is the people in her cult that do this podcast, this live stream, when they're talking, they go, oh, FDA banned colloidal silver because they don't want you to know all those things. They say it turns you blue and whatever. It turns your skin blue, and like, shut up, okay, like, and like they're talking about it like they're almost reasonable.
Yeah.
And then the last episode and like a half, by the end of the show, she's blue, like she's as blue as Jacob's shirt. It's crazy. I can't believe this happens.
Really?
It looks like David Lynch characters. I
Just
swear
like
to God.
Veruca Salt
Yeah, buddy,
when he's got a blueberry for a daughter.
They hold on to her dead body for way too long.
and then they hang out with her body, just
Wait,
like jam it. Dude, the guy who you will love when you watch this,
Yeah.
she's called Mother, is the guy father.
That's
who's
her?
Yeah,
Oh, she's kind of cute.
she was kind of cute at a time.
She became a blueberry, yeah.
I got a blueberry for a daughter. That's what she looked like?
Look at her. That's
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
crazy.
What a weirdo.
And she just starved herself and took a poison to kill herself dramatically, so everyone would
Whoa, is that
worship
what
her
she ended
still.
up looking like?
Yeah.
Free. It's kind of hard to go back
Start
and,
paying for
and
it?
start paying. Yeah, when you know how to save money on the road. Do you do that? Do you ever like in moments like you know you can get something for free and you'll take something for free rather than pay for it?
No, not anymore. I always think I've gotten a lot of things for free that sucked.
Yeah.
So like, I usually
Such
do feel
as?
I
Like,
do
what do
feel
you
just like tattoo. No, none of my tattoos. The guy who does my tattoos, Manny, who I don't want anyone to get it twisted. He's the Skank. He's the Skankfest tattoo artist now. Main guy. He does my tattoo. He's awesome artist. But there was a time in my life where I was like, I'll take any free tattoo, and because I got some shitty tattoos.
Really?
Yeah.
What
Someone's
type
like,
of
"I'll
free
just do it."
shit? What type of free shit on the road would you get?
Um,
You talking like food? You talking hotels? You talking anything?
Yeah, Craig was good at like he was a good he was very good, very outgoing personality. So Craig was good to like use like the radio and whatever to kind of like get a nice thing. Like they want us to come to this restaurant and stuff like that. I've gotten like
you know where I learned that was when I was a kid and I would hang out with famous rock bands. I was shocked at how many rock bands would be like, yeah, let's go to the movies, but we'll just tell them we're coming. And then say, hey, you want some tickets to our concert? And we'll get everybody in the movie theater. And they'll be like, no way.
So
Yeah.
And then
bartering,
Tesla shows up at the movie theater, and then they get a whole bunch of, get popcorn and snacks for everybody. And they got room in the back of the arena for 10 people. Like, yeah, come on in. And they would trade out everything. And I was like, this is mind-blowing. Like, you're saving so much money on the road and then also getting extra bodies in the room who
Yeah.
are then going to buy merch and whatever. So, yeah, I mean, you learn that you can actually, that it's worth something to be able to get people into the show. So,
Yeah.
Craig brought to the Boston Comedy Club, and that still existed, down in the West Village. It was, man, some couple of cool ones. They were just like Craig's like at that point, like your level of like who you knew in music was just so it was right in my wheelhouse of the first bands that I was like, I like this band. This has nothing to do with my parents or hearing it from somebody else. And it was like, one time Craig walked in and he goes, the boss, he's like, I'm going to try to go on next if I can because my friend Jeff's got to get out of here. And you look up, you're like, is that Jeff LaBar from Cinderella? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's batshit crazy.
Just
in
hanging out
fact,
at Boston.
the only time I will say Craig is one of the few people you caught in the sweet spot when Howard Stern was first dating Beth.
Yeah.
And got them. I came as they were leaving, but I
Howard
did see
and
them
Beth.
leave. Howard and Beth
Wow.
were walking out of the Boston Comedy Club, and I was like, "Wow, fucking way!"
Wow.
It was
That was the first day I ever sat in with Howard, sitting next to him, and he's like, "Where are you at tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm at this club," and he's like, "I'm gonna come down," and he showed up. And I remember as he was walking out, Rich Voss had just got on stage, and Rich was trying to roast him as he walked out, and he's like, "Yeah, cool." Like when he walked out, you know. But yeah, I remember bringing in. There was actually a friend that I made. Like, one guy made a comment to me that I valued so much that whenever I'm in a creative spot where I need honest opinions, I call him. It was Ozfest was in town with a day off, and a bunch of the bands came to watch me at Boston Comedy Club. And when you walked into the club, there was a table that was like, with one band, table with another band, table with another band. And for whatever reason, I fucking ate it that night. I just, and the reason why is because
they're not always great audiences, also.
Yeah,
I've been in that situation.
I think I tried to do something in the beginning that I thought like, oh well, these tables are gonna love this, and it fucking bombed.
Not like Tawny Katane's crackhead ass.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, we all like her.
And
I thought you guys hated her. Oh
Keep
shit.
that on the bus, dude.
Yeah. Well, I started with a giant misstep, and then my next thing was a misstep. Then my next thing was a misstep, and then
Ozzy's gay.
Yeah.
Boo.
and then I just went into the material that I knew would work. And at that point, I felt like I'd lost them so much. It was heavy lifting for the rest of the set. I get off stage, I walk by the Seven Dust table, and I know I just bombed. I know it. And I walked up the Seven Dust table, and I was like, "Hey guys, sorry about that." And they're like, "No, you were awesome." And I was like, "Nah." And I go to the Disturbed table, and I go, "Hey guys, sorry about that." And they're like, "Dude, that was fucking no, you were killer." And I go, "Yeah." And then I
He
go,
goes, do you mean it? And he went, ooh, wah. Hey, look me in the eyes. Ooh, wah, ah, ah. Do I mean it? I swear on my ooh, wah, ah, ah.
Then I go to a table that has the guys from System of a Down, and I go, "Hey guys, sorry about that." And the drummer stood up, and he goes, "Hey man, let's go outside." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Come here, follow me." We walk outside. He turns around, he goes, "You want to know why you sucked? I'll tell you exactly why you sucked tonight. First of all, what's with the fucking new jokes? What's this shit?" And he goes, "And everyone here loves your impressions. What the fuck? You didn't do any impressions?" I go, "Yeah, you're right." And he fucking dressed me down, and he happened to hit everything I knew was wrong with my set. So now if I do like a roast, and I'm trying to figure out if this material is going to work or not.
You go, wake up.
Wake up.
Make sure you do all your good stuff.
Good stuff.
Don't try to new shit.
New shit.
Always try to stick around and do the A stuff.
A stuff. Even if you want to.
Even if Disturbed's in the audience, you want to. Even though it's in the audience,
Don't
you want
forget
to.
that. So that
I don't think I trust my new
Stick with the old.
unfinished joke ideas.
Save the new stuff for the open mic. Save the new stuff for the open mic.
Cheer up! Just do your fucking A shit.
There's gonna be another set tomorrow. Just do the motherfucking impressions.
Oh, dude, I told you, Vinnie Paul and his some people came out to see me right after I did Mayhem Fest one year in Kansas City, and I was like, I don't remember having a bad set, but whatever it was, when I got off, they were like, "Oh, he left like a long time ago." I was like, "Oh,
no shit.
yeah.
Oh.
Like, oh yeah, he left like a while ago.
Oh, it means so much to us as comics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It does.
Stay,
To
I know.
us as comics, like Jay is a rare guy who's also performed with huge bands that I think for me personally, there's some dumb thing where I want to be one of the guys, and that's why I want to do those shows. I want to be one of the guys, even though those gigs are the absolute worst gigs you could possibly do as a stand-up comedian. And Jay is the only guy I know who has the balls to actually go out there and say, I'm a stand-up comic, here's my jokes. I fucking lie to the audience. I've opened for Metallica and System. I do stuff with Corey
I watched
Taylor
you for Metallica here at the Bowery.
at the Bowery Ballroom, and I walked out on stage and said, "Good evening. My name is Craig. I am Metallica's tour manager." Everyone was like, "What?" And I go, "The band has some very important announcements." Yeah, and every announcement was super cool, but total bullshit, just so I could get them to listen. And I was like, "You may have heard some rumors, and it's true. Metallica is recording our first ever live album right here." That's right. That's right. So I need your attention. I need your attention. There's a proper way to yell on a live album, so we need to rehearse this. And they follow every stupid instruction I give them, fill in some jokes. And I know Jim Florentine once told me that when he opens up for bands, he'll always do a few minutes. And then if it's not going well, he'll go like, "Hey, who wants some T-shirts?" And he's always he has Jaeger girls like on the side of the stage.
I did the Jaeger girls though too.
You know?
I said, well, the Jaeger girls were fun because you could bring there's like 10 of them, so I'd bring them up on the stage and I would just like roast them on, you know what I mean? So I was like, because it's a goofy, ugly rock audience, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like smoking hot girls who couldn't give two fucks about the music. They're there for a gig, a modeling gig.
True.
She's get them up there and just start telling these guys why they don't want to fuck them.
Yeah.
This one's going to talk to you about her dancing dreams all night. You don't want to deal with that shit.
This one's gonna keep looking in the mirror at herself.
You know, me and Craig, one of my favorite just early comedy like night stories, again, where it's like a great idea going bunk. Like Craig does a killer impression. Actually, let me ask you this first. Are you in town to go to the last Kiss show ever?
Not only am I going to the last two
we're going.
Kiss shows.
You're going to both?
I'm going to both, and then I'm also, the reason why I came into the studio was to tell you that the night before and the night after the final shows from Kiss, I am doing a couple of shows at the comic strip where I'm just making fun of Kiss for an hour. The whole show, beginning to end, is just jokes and stories about Kiss with love, because I've developed a relationship with the guys.
Are they coming?
I know people that work with them are coming. I did this 2 other times: Austin, Texas,
He's trying to stay healthy too.
Seattle.
And you know what to do now.
And their crew has come out. Their production people have come out. Some of their management. I know a lot of other musicians are coming out.
Nice.
You know, and they have their own stories too.
I'm not allowed the comic strip.
You're not? Still?
It's fine.
Really?
It's okay.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, it's all stories about Kiss, because starting
awesome.
down the hall with Howard, I would do an impression of. I do impressions, but the impression I did of Gene Simmons was behind this premise of every time we'd have a music guest in the studio, I would constantly interrupt the music guest as Gene Simmons and try to sell them shitty Kiss products.
Yeah.
And,
It was great.
And it was silly and
Well, it was
funny.
great, but can I say that leads into one of my favorite nights. But I'm going. Me, Christine, Bobby, my daughter, and Bobby's son are going to go Saturday.
Saturday?
To the final show ever. Yeah, I'm
All right,
excited,
cool.
man. It's good. We and Christine saw him for the first time not long ago.
They have something planned at the very, very end of the show.
Yeah.
That is going to be really unique. And I'll be honest, I don't even know exactly what it is. I just know they spent a lot of time working on this thing they're going to end the show with. So,
Yeah.
But
Mass suicide.
Yeah.
They're gonna shoot the Star Child out of a cannon and just,
They're all going to pull out Tommy guns and just take out the fucking pit.
But you were saying one of your earliest memories was
So it was of comedy was me and Craig. And Craig included me in this because Craig also knew from the time we met how much I loved. I met Craig just like in comedy, and like you were starting to do the voices a little bit on Stern and stuff. So it was like kind of like a fresh thing. And Craig was still like, but he was just getting in with that. It was going over. You were on pretty regularly at this point, like calling him with voices. And they pitched an idea to the E! channel. Craig dresses up, full Gene Simmons regalia, the whole demon makeup and the whole thing, and because he does a great impression. We go try to get into the MTV Awards.
I forgot about that.
oh no
The MTV
shit.
Music Awards.
Yeah.
They go, yeah, we'll do it. And Craig goes, oh, and my buddy Jay is another comedian. He'll be like my assistant, my point guy or whatever, my security. That's what it was, security. I was going to be your security guy. I fucking had a fat shirt that said security from Big and Tall already.
Oh, perfect.
So I just wore that.
Perfect.
And we pulled right up to security at the Video Music Awards.
We were shut down immediately. So there was no footage there. We pulled up in a car and they go, "We have Gene Simmons here. Let's get back." He goes, they were like, "That ain't Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons ain't on the list to be here." And they were like, "Okay, guys, what are we gonna do?" We gave it a shot. Like, it was so fast. But
I remember a small detail. The security looked in and laughed.
Yeah.
Because we were in a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
We were in a Toyota Corolla, and I'm fully dressed as Gene Simmons with Gene Simmons outfit in the backseat, squeezed in.
And there's a camera guy who's who just looks like a pothead, like filming the whole thing. I think Doug Goodstein may have been with us.
Yeah.
And we and then it was like, well, we got to do something with this footage. And what we just did next, it was like, it just wasn't really, the bit was kind of done, but they needed something.
Yeah.
So we went to the now gone, I found out this went away recently, Nice Guy Eddie's was a bar on Houston and I think Allen, I want to say. And we went there, that's where they had Kiss painted on the wall. Like, it was a big thing, the big mural of Kiss was on the side of the wall of this bar. And we just went in and sat at a table and just ordered like
drinks,
bar food and drinks, and just sat there and ate that. Just, he was in full makeup. We just didn't bother anybody. No one really bothered, but people were like, "Is that you?" And then we're like, "Yeah."
Wow.
He goes out to eat once in a while in full demon gear. I mean, Craig was 7.5 feet tall. It was like he was wearing the fucking. They got him a good outfit.
Everything.
Yeah,
they got him a good outfit.
It was all Stern budget, so they spared no expense. Huh?
And then they used
makeup artists, and
then they used it again by they had Gene Simmons coming in, and Craig was just sitting in the room in the full makeup, weren't you? And Gene Simmons didn't love it at the time.
Yeah, because I walked in because we had already had the confrontation a month earlier where we didn't know when I started doing the Gene Simmons thing and I was interrupting people as Gene Simmons and saying, "Hi, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss, and I just want to tell you that right now at kissonline.com, you've just reminded me we have a Kiss toilet. What's the difference between a regular toilet and a Kiss toilet? Our toilet is a pay toilet. You sit down, you put in a quarter, and you do your business while you listen to Deuce." And it was just stupid shit like that. And we didn't know at the time, the real Gene Simmons, we found out later, started getting hate mail because of the shit I was saying to people on the Howard Stern show. So Gene Simmons showed up one day. He just showed up, and Gary came in and said, "Hey, so we got a problem. So Gene Simmons from Kiss just walked in the building. He wants to beat the fuck out of Craig right now." And he came in. We had a funny segment, and then he came back as a guest. And I pitched the idea, wouldn't it be funny if I showed up dressed as Gene Simmons? And I actually walked in and said, "I'm the real Gene Simmons, and you are an imposter, and I can prove it because I got a bunch of cheap shit I want to sell you." And I had a bag full of shit that we had written Kiss logos on. I remember a lunchbox. It was like a New Kids on the Block lunchbox. Took out his Sharpie and just wrote "Kiss." That's $50 now. Yeah, and then you start getting contacted by people that have you ever made jokes about somebody? And the people affiliated with that organization or close to those people are like, "Hey, man, I actually work with them, and here's some more stories." Do you ever get?
No, I told the world that the Barry Stock, the guitar bass player from 3 Days Grace's wife's a fat pig, but I'm trying to get him to fight me whenever he sees me.
Why? What happened between you?
And then his drummer reached out.
Really? His drummer reached out to give you stories or to get mad at you?
No. He was like. It was weird. He called up first. This thing was a little bit like, "Yo, dude, you got a problem with this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I do reflect on. I said on the show. I said because someone was like, "You shouldn't do the families." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess you're right, but fuck him, whatever."
What happened with the guy from 3 Days Grace?
That's the thing. I told you that years ago on the cruise ship, and he threw like fucking wine on the Legion of Skanks when we were doing it. But of course, it only hit me, and there was like a whole thing on Shipwrecked. Yeah,
holy
it was nuts.
Shit,
whole ordeal. Fuck
wow.
him.
Was it in the middle of an interview?
No, it was.
He's just walking by the table.
He walked by. He told us to shut up. No one cares about our podcast, which was just a weird thing for a performer to do. And we were like, "Fuck you, dude. Fuck off." And he threw wine at us.
Wow.
It only hit me. He was aiming for Lewis. It only hit me. That is a tale as old as time, my friend. Wow. That is a tale as old as time.
So you got like someone who was in the Gene Simmons camp got in touch with you and said, "Here's more meat for the bone."
Corey Feldman's camp also hates us and wants us to stop everything we do.
Really?
Yeah.
Craig,
I'd imagine there's a lot of people like that. What was the question?
I gotta tell you, my friends are gonna be so psyched because to this day, the product that my friend and I still quote is when you said that you were the Kiss Cancer Center.
I think that's the one that actually upset Suzanne.
Drove him nuts.
Suzanne Summers was in the studio, and she was, telling the story about how she was fighting cancer and she was getting ahead of it. And I at the very end of the thing, I said, Suzanne, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss, and I want to tell you, I am so moved by your story. It's such a story it's so inspirational that we would like to offer you a Kiss lunch pail for $49.95. If you go to kissonline.com, we'll give you the 5-cent discount. And Suzanne apparently lived in the neighborhood where Gene lived, and she went to his house and knocked on his door and said, "You're an asshole. Why would you do that in the middle of my appearance?" And he said, "It wasn't me. It's a guy. It's not me." Wow. But the people who started contacting me were people who worked with Kiss. Hey, I got a story for you. Did I ever tell you that the love relationship advice that Gene gave to the guy who was watching him hook up with women every night? Mm-mm. Gene, according to this guy, was hooked up. This is before he got married. He hooks up with Miss America, according to this guy that worked with Kiss. It was the reigning Miss America of that year. Gene Simmons hooks up with her. The whole crew is like, holy shit. The next night, Gene hooks up with a whore. A girl that is such a dirty, such a trashy girl that even the guys in the road crew are like,
nice.
Jesus, what the fuck? The next night, they have a day off in a town that's so small that the band and the road crew are staying in the same hotel. And this guy tells me from his point of view, he goes, I was in the lobby of the hotel. I was at the bar having a drink when Gene Simmons started walking through the lobby, and he's dragging this enormous girl with him through the lobby, and they get in the elevator. He turns around, pushes the button to his floor, and that's when he sees me. He makes eye contact and goes, folds his arms, oh yeah, bing, and then the doors close to the elevator. And he said the next day at sound check, he walked up to him and he goes, Gene, hey buddy, did you hook up with that girl last night? And Gene Simmons goes, of course. And he goes, Gene, didn't you hook up with Miss America the other night? And he goes, Steve, listen to me, okay? I'm going to give you some valuable advice. You can't have filet mignon every night. Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's. It's the worst fucking love advice I've ever heard.
Sometimes.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Craig used to smart move too before he was selling tickets at all. He'd go on the radio, local radio places. He'd go, if I can go on local radio, I can get people. And he would just go and say all these people were going to be here, and he would just do the impression of them, and people would fucking
show up.
At one point, someone, was it Gary or something that got pissed off? He's like, because people were reaching out to Gary Delabate being like, why do people think I'm going to be in St. Louis tonight at the fucking whatever comedy club?
I don't think Gary ever got mad.
Not mad. I mean, I don't mean mad, like really furious, but it was like people were reaching out to him going like, I thought you were going to be at the show tonight. I was like,
dude,
what?
It started out where I would come on as a celebrity promoting the show. And then I would be a couple of celebrities. And then I realized I could talk as 4 or 5, 6 celebrities at the same time as long as you keep talking. Mm-hmm. So it would be Tracy Morgan, Tom Arnold, Adam Sandler, Christopher Walken, Al Pacino, Alec Baldwin are all in the studio, and the premise is ridiculous, and they're all looking.
And still, some people would be like,
holy
where's
shit.
Alec Baldwin?
Dude, people,
you said.
People would come to the show. Well, they'd all say, we're not performing, but we're going to see Craig Gass at the Chuckle Hut.
That's hilarious that they're all at 99 Rock WPLR. They're all at once. They're all in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. And
Scooter and Buzz in the morning.
And everyone has a reason for being there. Like Tom Arnold is like, I'm just here for, I'm going to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting in town. So we're going to be doing a 12-step meeting after the comedy show at the Chuckle Hut. And then Tracy Morgan would be like, I'm going to film a porno in the parking lot. I'm going to be filming. You want to go see a comedy show? Go inside the club. You want to be in a movie called Men in Back?
Yeah.
Come out to the white handy van in the parking lot.
Speaking about Tracy, did you watch Tracy's Dark Side of Comedy?
I did it.
Episode. It's just, it's the story, There's nothing really different about it at all.
About the
Tracy's
car accident?
great, yeah, but it leads up to that obviously, and it goes past. But man, I haven't really stayed up with Tracy's work beyond that. I'm just happy he's okay and working again at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, Tracy went from you wipe that doo-doo off your curtains and you fuck a baby in the ass right in front of her mama.
Yeah.
I slap your daddy with my dick and get your mama pregnant with all that shit.
Yeah.
Now it shows him on Oprah, and he's like, making people laugh is how I got myself not being bullied anymore. He's like crying and stuff now. You go, whoa, dude, what?
Wow.
He was always crying, though. He was all, dude.
No, not like this, man.
I don't know,
but he's not
dude.
doing the other stuff at all. I mean, they really, compile it in this that episode of the thing. But they show his 5,000 TV appearances where the news people are like, okay, we got to go. He's like,
Right.
I'm about to pull my dick out on the weather.
Yep.
Whoa,
All right,
Tracy.
all right, Astronaut Jones, fucking calm down.
See, I remember Tracy always being that guy that would get naked and get emotional. And I remember when I was living in LA, when I first got out there, I didn't know anybody yet. And someone said, dude, it was supposed to be a comedian's birthday party at this bar. I go to the bar, and the only other comedian there was Tracy Morgan. And Tracy can go either way. Like I
Yo, is this Hugh Fink's barbecue?
Yeah.
Hugh Fink.
And so I end up on a patio at this place just hanging out with some friends, and somebody ran out and said, dude, Tracy Morgan's taking his clothes off doing karaoke. And I walk back inside, and Tracy Morgan is on a microphone, and he's got his shirt off, and he's crying and singing, "We are the champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting to the end." And then at some point he goes, "Wait, stop the music. Stop the music. I want to say something. I want to say something." And the guy running the karaoke goes, "Finish your song, get the fuck off the stage." And he goes, "That's fucked up." And then he walked up and I was like, wait, what was that? What did he want to say? Like, what was his fucking...
Yeah, I think he's a little emotionally unstable.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Something strikes me about it.
Always
He's such
emotional.
He's very sweet.
I remember one time
Tracy's always been super sweet.
Oh,
to
he's
me, man.
great.
He's a
Sweet,
really great guy.
kind,
Yeah.
always funny. And honestly, I think he's fucking genius. He talks in... he kind of talks in like in circles, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Like I think he's just ahead of the curve, and he just talks in such an unusual way that I think people are like, "What's that guy's deal, man?"
Yeah.
I remember one time standing in the hallway at the cellar, and I had to light someone, and he was between me and the light, and he was just comedy, man. Like he was just going on and on about how this is what it's at, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta light this guy. Get out of the way. He just would not stop talking. And everyone's like, why did I
What's
stay
the
up
light
this?
anyway? Who's to tell you when you're done comedy?
There's so many
Yeah.
great stories about that guy. I just remember whenever he would hang out, like back when he was just doing SNL. I remember, like, if we were hanging out at Boston Comedy Club, if he was around in a social situation, there's always one comedian that would go, "You ever try to talk to that guy?" There's always some guy who was like, "Man, I don't know what that guy's."
Well, it's
deal
one of my
is."
favorite things ever. I said, and Christine loves this because it's true. He came up, like, something happened. I don't know where he saw me that was, like, good. I don't know, maybe he came down when I was, like, headlining at Caroline's or something and just happened to see that I was there. It wasn't like he came to see me. But whatever it was he saw me, he was like, "Man, Jay, look at you now, man. I remember when you came to me when you first came to New York, showing up at my doorstep being, Tracy, help me out. Look at you, man. Look where you at now." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy, right?" He goes, "Man, I knew it, though, when you came. Tracy, help me, man. Help me. Put me on, man. Put me on. Look at you now, dog. It's great. Beautiful." And I was like, yeah. And the person I was with was like, I think it was Christine. Was it you? Christine was like, "Tracy helped you out from the beginning." I go, "I don't know what the hell he's talking about." And he doesn't think I'm somebody else because he knows who I am. Dude, he's just created a thing in his head. I'm like, no. In fact, because here's the thing. It's not that he thinks I'm somebody else. Because nobody did that. Nobody showed up on his doorstep and went, "Tracy, get me on." It never happened from anybody.
Dude, one step.
So great.
He tells you a history that you don't have together. Remember, I was almost your step-pop, but me and your mom broke up because we didn't see eye to eye politically. Yeah, dude. I just say yes.
You
I
were
just
almost my dad, dude.
Absolutely, dude. That was crazy. Yeah, we built that car together, though. That's right. What was it, like a Thunderbird? Yeah, we built a Thunderbird together.
Train.
Took forever to get all them parts. I couldn't find them parts forever.
Even crazier is he knows that there is a comedian named Craig Gass who does an impression of him. And then when he sees me, he just thinks I'm a different person.
Dude, I love that too.
He'll be like, yeah, what's up, Craig? Or no, he won't say my name. He'll just be like, hey,
He just knows
what's
you,
up?
yeah.
And I've had people right in front of me go, hey, you know Craig Gass does the impression of me? He goes, he's making a living, right? He's making a living. And then I'll be like, hey, what's up, Tracy? And he'd be like, hey, that's my Bobo. That's my Bobo. I go, what? All right. Yeah, dude. I fucking love that guy. But yeah, dude, most of the people who...
He always has a different take on something, too. I remember when I was talking outside the stand one night, and I was like, yo, how nutty is it? Because he was like, you and Kev used to come up from Philly to get, he remembered all that. And I was like, yeah, I go, it's crazy, because it's the first time he's getting ready to do the Garden. I was like, you're getting ready to do the fucking Madison Square Garden, dude. He goes, I know, right? And he just sounded down. I go, what's wrong? He goes, I hate when I hear that stuff because only way to go is down now. It's like he's always seen the negative. Like,
wow, that's interesting.
You're like, dude,
but just a weird take on it right away. He's just like, oh, the pinnacle moment. Now what?
You're like, Tracy, you never would have said that when I was sleeping on your couch 13 years ago.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Where's that guy who I came 2 years ago?
Who gave me mustard for my hot dog?
You right. I need to get back there again on that doorstep where you showed up.
Boo-boo?
How's your mom doing? She's still all right though? I know she don't like me.
Her eye working?
I don't know if he ever talked to you in euphemisms. I remember the first time I met him, I said, hey, I'm a stand-up comic. I saw him at Saturday Night Live, and I was like, I just want you to know that my girlfriend and I think you're the funniest guy on the show. And he's like, yeah, you a stand-up comic? And I go, yeah. He goes, what you doing on Friday? And I go, on what? He goes, on Friday. And I go, I don't know. What am I doing? He goes, you open up for me at the New York Comedy Club. And I was like, oh, shit, are you serious? I had nothing. This is like 1998, 99. I was like, dude, I planned my whole week around, I'm opening for Tracy Morgan this weekend. I do the show. His crowd's nice to me. It was at the New York Comedy Club on 25th or 26th, whatever it was. And then afterwards, he's at the bar and he goes, Craig, what you drinking? And I was like, oh, shit. Can I get a Corona? And he goes, yeah, how you like this? And I go, how do I like this club? And he goes, no, how you like stand-up comedy? And I go, oh, I'm head over heels in love with it. And he goes, yeah, you got to be like Bruce Lee in the 6-foot kick. And I go, the what? And he goes, you don't know about Bruce Lee in the 6-foot kick? They say when Bruce Lee kick you, you go back 6 feet. That's why when people like Tracy, how you living? I'm like, I'm 6-foot kicking it. I'm 6-foot kicking. And then he got nose to nose with me. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I'll tell you what's interesting about him, too. Like, I got to watch some it's like interesting, like kind of fascinating moments of him when and I think maybe only once or twice. I used to open for a lot of people. Caroline's was a cool thing. When I got in there, they like really worked me. And Tracy was one of the people I opened up for. And it was at a time where they kept coming back to him, like, and it's like Ra-Ra and Doo-Doo are here. You know what I mean? Dookie Balls and Ned. And it was like all these people were showing up, and he was just like, just put him over. And he was like telling them like to seat him in the room, or they can come back after the show or something. And him talking to me in the back about a reel, he was like, it's this thing now, like, he's like, I'm doing great, like in the world of like Tina Fey's and whatever, but he's like, it's not like, when this happens, when I do a show here like this, he goes, all these guys come out, and it's like, if I don't make them have like a rock star, a celebrity night.
Yeah.
Like they go back and say I'm fucking corny and lost my hood and all this kind of stuff. It's like he was just in a weird place. He was like, and these guys will come in though and fuck up. You know what I mean? He's like, they don't know how to act, and they're gonna come in here and fuck up, and then everybody wants some money, is asking for something, and I'm like, and then I watched it all happen.
No shit.
The guys come in there and he goes, man, I'm just until I can get my foot right, man, I can't really be working, which and it's like, oh, hit me up on Tuesday I'll be whatever up in Harlem. You hit me up or something. It's just like
Jesus.
It seemed like a nightmare.
I remember at one of those shows, he started to talk about growing up that there was a guy in his neighborhood called Blind Clarence, and
he was deaf.
Some dudes in the audience went, yeah, and he goes, Blind Clarence, and he had this amazing story about that he lived in the hood. There was a blind guy named Clarence who got robbed on the elevator in their apartment building. And then 2-3 weeks later, and he starts to describe, and this is 100% true, and I know this from growing up in a deaf family. Everyone in my family's deaf. He said, when you take away one of your senses, all your other senses become supernatural. And it's like, and that's true. That is 100% true. My mom always had like a sense of smell that was greater than mine. You know, she always like...
She could see through walls.
Yeah.
So
I can taste your lies.
So Tracy describes that blind Benny is in the elevator and he smelled the scent of the guy who robbed him and just started wearing on the guy in the elevator. Because all your other senses become supernatural.
Dude, my brother-in-law's family, his whole family was deaf too.
Really?
Both your parents were?
Both my parents and my sister.
Your sister, yeah.
No shit. Wow, dude. Yeah, none of the kids were except the parent.
Which is how I ended up doing voices, because I couldn't learn how to talk from my family. I learned how to talk by watching TV, and I copied all the voices I heard on TV.
Whoa,
so every grade
man.
it was whatever his new favorite show was. He goes, second grade, he took exclusively like Captain Kirk.
Yep. Like in third grade, he was Ma'am and George Papadopoulos.
Yes. I'm going to call your parents. Go ahead and try, but they won't hear you.
Do what you got to do, you big dummy.
Elizabeth, I'm coming. Craig Gass, everybody, he's going to be performing at the Comic Strip Live in New York City this Thursday, November 30th, and Sunday, December 3rd. Making fun of the band Kiss and telling some old stories and fun shit. That's before and after their final shows, Friday and Saturday. Catch me. I'm going to be there on Saturday. Me and Robert Kelly, come and say hi. It's at Madison Square Garden, everybody. But Craig is going to be again at the Comic Strip Live in New York City Thursday and Sunday this week. Check it out. Craig is absolutely hilarious. Check out all of his tour dates and get tickets at GetGass, GetGass, getgas.com. Mike Fenoya special, Don't Let Me Down, at youtube.com/@MikeFenoya. And New Year's Eve, he's going to be headlining Comics Mohegan Sun. For tickets and tour dates, go to MikeFenoya.com. Where's Bobby? Let's get Bobby's stuff in there. Bobby's going to be in Dania Beach, Florida, December 15th and 16th. After that, Fort Wayne, Indiana for New Year's Eve. One night, 2 shows only. Saratoga Springs of Wisconsin. Bobby's coming back tomorrow. He's going to be on the show for the next 2 days. We're going live this Thursday. RobertKellyLive.com. Holiday show is already sold out. And I am going to be in Houston with Mikey, actually. That is next weekend.
Can't wait.
After that, Providence, Rhode Island. Pittsburgh. That's right. Homestead, it's called. Pittsburgh for New Year's Eve. I know, though. New Year's Eve weekend. Tickets and tour dates, bigjcomedy.com. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening. That was just a portion of our actual Sirius XM radio show.
If you want the whole thing, go to SiriusXM.com/bonfire for a special offer.
That's right. And go to bigjcomedy.com and RobertKellyLive.com to check out our stand-up dates coming to a city near you. Crackle, crackle.